Hey, Jared.
Yes.
Why didn't the son go to college?
Why didn't the son go to college?
Yes.
S-O-N-S-U-N.
Yes.
Oh, come on. You're not going to tell me which? S-O-N.
Or S-U-N?
S-U-N.
Or S-U-N.
I don't know.
It already had 1 million degrees.
Yeah. True.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Josh, and true love is hard to find. Sometimes you think you have true love, then you catch an early flight home from San Diego, and a couple of new people jump out of your bathroom blindfolded like a magic show, ready to double team your girlfriend.
Yeah. Hate when that happens.
And this is my co-host, Jared.
You know, Josh, Columbus wasn't looking for America, but that turned out to be pretty okay for everyone.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was Vince Vaughn's character. Right?
Yeah. Right. Like, literally at the wedding, he's like whispering to him.
Well, today we're talking about Old School. This is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would say more so than the last movie.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Though I think I've seen Road Trip more often.
Really?
Yeah, just out of, I don't know why. But, all right, so this came out 2003. So 3 years later. So our director, well, I guess release dates kind of.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to know. But it's rated R, an hour and 28 minutes. So both about an hour and a half.
Yep. Still good length.
Yeah. Yeah. Short and sweet. They don't make them like that anymore.
Not really.
Three friends attempt to recapture their glory days by opening up a fraternity near their alma mater. Such a good concept for a movie.
It is.
Really is.
And this was from the trivia from last week. This was the same college. They said they filmed, yeah.
They filmed at
all the college stuff, yeah.
The same location. So our director, Todd Phillips. Writer Court Crandall was listed first. So I don't know.
Okay.
And then Todd Phillips and then Scott Armstrong, the two people that wrote our last film. And then they were credited for the screenplay. So I don't know if I couldn't find anything specific, but this Court Crandall, maybe it was like a blog or, like a story somewhere else beforehand.
Oh,
or concept,
gotcha.
or some other concept somewhere else. And that's why he's credited with the same cinematographer as last, Mark Irwin.
Yep.
Got a different person on music, score, Theodore Shapiro.
Yes.
And then production cost $24 million, which is not quite double. Our last one I think was 12, or 12 would be double, like 15 or something like that.
Well, we got
a little bit bigger name stars.
Yeah, they say the cast, yeah.
And I'm going to rattle off a bunch of names here for the cast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this film. I'll probably miss some, but these are the ones that kind of stood out to me. So we have Luke Wilson, Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Jeremy Piven, Ellen Pompeo, Juliette Lewis, Leah Remini, Perry Reeves, Craig Kilborn, Alicia Cuthbert. I don't remember. Never knew how to say her last name. Mm-hmm. Alicia Cuthbert. I don't know.
Cuthbert.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
Matt Walsh, Artie Lang, Patrick Fischler.
Yeah.
Fischler. All right. Harv Presnell. And then Sarah Shahi. Todd Phillips in there again.
Mm-hmm. Did you recognize him this time?
Yep. Well, I was like, I know this guy. And then I realized
looked very similar to his appearance in the last movie.
He was the creepiest person.
Yeah.
Stuart Kornfeld, Snoop Dogg, Simon Helberg, Patrick Cranshaw, and then Patrick J. Adams and Andy Dick.
Oh, yeah.
Am I saying one that you had?
No.
I didn't realize till looking at the IMDb list that was Patrick J. Adams.
Who's that?
He's the younger guy in Suits of the two main characters, like that actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I was like, wait, I saw the name and I recognized the name from that, and now I had to go back and be like, where? And then he's one of the just random pledges that like were
okay,
but like he was like not even the forefront of the people.
Isn't Suits from kind of around this time? I feel like right.
Probably.
Yeah, or maybe right before.
Yeah. So
Todd Phillips is, although we recognize him this time, but yeah, he's credited as gangbang guy. He's the one that shows up at
the door.
At the yeah.
Yep.
Like from now on, I'm just gonna have to. I'm assuming.
Hope he keeps this up.
Yeah, I'm assuming in the comedies because like, I don't. Well, maybe he's even in Joker. I don't know, but which would be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be cool actually if he's in all of them, even the new one coming out.
That was interesting that Seann William Scott had such a small role in this.
Yeah, I thought it'd be. Actually, I feel like I remember him being in it more. But no, yeah, he's just that one scene, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the same with Alicia Cuthbert. Like that was a small role for her, but I feel like she started already to be big, but maybe not. Maybe, of course, again, when was this film versus when it got released?
Right.
But yeah, I know she later became more popular in some films, and then of course in Happy Endings.
That's what I know her from. Yeah. What other movies?
She was in some other movies. I don't know any off the top of my head, but
now the big question is Ellen Pompeo. Is this before Grey's Anatomy?
I don't know.
Actually, no. Grey's Anatomy is on like season.
It might have been around the same time.
Yeah, it's
but like
insane.
TV show versus getting on a movie is bigger.
Yeah,
bigger.
So it's like with her, it's like, has she done anything else?
It was the same with Jeremy Piven and the lady who's married to.
Yeah, both from Entourage.
It was his wife in Entourage.
I know. I thought about that.
She's married to Will Ferrell in this film.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's so interesting. That I'll go ahead and say the no. That's just with him. It's like I can only think of Ari with him, and he's very similar. I mean, with like his delivery, of his words.
Yeah.
Obviously a different character, but still, it's just like it's Ari to me. But I like him a lot, though. He's one of the best in Entourage. I think
he plays a douche really well.
Yes, he does.
Because there was someone else he was in the same. Oh, when he plays that's right. I always forget it. Like, and it was like so perfect. He plays the agent in Cars.
Does he really?
Yeah. So he's just. he's just a voice.
Yeah.
But he's like,
it's you can tell.
And he's playing like the agent for Lightning McQueen.
I haven't. I gotta watch all those. I haven't watched Cars since it came out, probably.
Yeah. You didn't have kids like I did.
No.
That especially that first movie. It was like Lucas was like.
You know what? I probably did with them though.
Yeah.
I probably would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably saw it.
He was definitely into that for the Cars movie.
Who wasn't? I mean, it's great.
Still love the Pixar.
Yeah.
All right, so let's overall thoughts, and kind of talked a little bit about it up front, but like I said, like for some reason this movie I didn't see as many times. Like I feel like I watched it a handful of times but there was something about the road trip movie, maybe just the timing wise, like just those couple year gap.
Yeah,
I was still and I more hanging out with friends and watching movies over and over again. And then by 2003, it's definitely been married a few years, whatever. So
right, yeah, that's true.
Didn't have a kid yet, but I don't know, but that I don't think I watched Old School as many times.
Yeah, I think it's probably the same amount because I don't know if I saw this movie more than the other one, but I just remember this is one I definitely have watched a lot too. Haven't seen it in a while, and I was still like, this is really great. I think it's better than the last movie we just did. But it's similar.
I agree.
It's similar comedy, although this comedy's better.
I think this has a little more polish to it.
Oh,
as far as like concept script, and then of
The other
course
thing is the actors.
acting. Yeah, you have like a little higher caliber actors.
For sure.
Though, quite frankly, only thing is Gray, because it's her last name in Grey's Anatomy. I never could actually I was like, I know who that is.
I know,
but
yeah. You
her
don't know
real
her
name. I don't like. Anyway, like hers, she was not good.
No,
Her acting was not good.
no.
Anyway,
everyone else was great though.
Yeah, but also this is like still like kind of peak Will Ferrell before Will Ferrell became kind of like, I don't know, like I feel like in the last decade or so when he's in stuff, it's almost like he's playing himself instead of just.
I agree.
It's like it's something weird like that, and you're just not. It
seems like he's trying too hard now,
or he's just phoning it in. Like, well, I know how to do this or something. Yeah. There's just and like his performances are just not. You're just like, oh no.
Yeah, this was a sweet spot. Literally the 2000s, this whole decade, because Anchorman, everything else was definitely from this decade, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, or just a hair early. I mean, late 90s too. There might be some stuff.
Late 90s. Because even one of his best, which I don't know if you've seen, one of his best roles was he was in the first season of Eastbound and Down. And
never watched Eastbound and Down,
dude. Yeah. His character's name's Ashley Schaefer of like Schaefer Cars. It's so good. But that was also, that's probably tail end of the 2000s. So yeah, he was still in that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he kind of then just.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what happened though. Yeah. You're right.
So I mean, probably, now it's coming almost 15 years. I would say.
Yeah.
Because of what we are, is it's 2024. So I forget.
That's true.
I keep thinking like like the 2010s were like 10 years ago, but now it's almost 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost halfway through this decade, which is
crazy.
Yep.
All right. So
I will say also though.
Yeah.
And this is another note I have that kind of goes along with it, is Vince Vaughn though, I think is still just as good now as he is in this. And he's always been one of my favorites, just his comedic timing and his delivery. Like, it's amazing in this.
I don't know, what has he been in lately?
Curb. He's been in Curb a lot.
Oh, I haven't got this.
That's right. You haven't got that far. Yeah. And then, obviously, we talked about he's finally going to be in a new show, which I'm excited about coming up, right? That Apple show.
Yeah.
Which it is a comedy, right? I'm hoping it is.
I think so, yeah.
Or at least he's going to be funny in it, but...
Yeah.
There was something else kind of recently, but you're right. He doesn't do as much now, but yeah, he's still really good on Curb. Yeah, so he's kind of still doesn't seem the same as Will Ferrell, where he's still, when you see him now doing something, he still hasn't. He's still doing his thing, and it doesn't seem like he's phoning it in at all.
All right, so that's good. Like I said, I can't,
because he's kind of the same, right? The same decade. Right, the 2000s was the biggest too, right?
Whenever Swingers came out.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, I guess in the 90s too.
So that was a little bit more.
But he wasn't as big then. That was kind of his start. Yeah.
Right. And then I guess what else did he do? I was trying to think what he did after Swingers that was big. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much in the 90s.
But I know he's, I mean, they're probably, because like I said, Will Ferrell probably did a few things in the late 90s.
Oh, yeah, probably,
so, yeah.
Anyway, he's just always been one of my favorites. So,
the sarcasm.
Oh, yeah, it's so good, yeah.
I think Swingers, his performance in Swingers is my fave.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's hard to pick because it's also, let's say, probably from the 2000s. It's just like movies like The Breakup. Mm-hmm. He's so good in that, right? I mean, that's kind of more like a rom-com.
Yeah.
But he's still just as good. Or Wedding Crashers.
Yes.
I think that's one of his best, it's...
Yeah, that's up there for sure.
That's interesting. That's the other Owen.
Yes.
Owen's brother.
Yes.
Or, not Owen. Yeah. Owen Wilson. The Wilson brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson, yeah.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you want to get into Like, what notes we like or things that stood out to us we liked about this? I mean,
I don't have a whole lot. I just said like a couple of my notes. I would just say the Frank going streaking's like that's kind of like the iconic scene
Right.
from this movie. Anyway, I forgot it was so early on in the movie
Yeah.
too.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, Frank the Tank. Yep.
I mean, it's basically because it's like the first. It's at the Mitchellpalooza, right? And then
Yeah, it is.
and he's like, I'll just have
He
one.
keeps being like, he's like, no, and then yeah,
And then he's like, I got
immediately goes to
which is one of the lines I almost he's like, well, I have a big day tomorrow, and they're like,
oh, that's
what do you
so good.
what do you got to do? He's like, well,
It's like
my-
actually pretty great Saturday.
He's like, I'm gonna go to Home Depot, and if we have time, we might go to Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, the way he ends, it's the best. He's like, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time. Like it's gonna be so crazy. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah, it's great.
it's
But
like,
yeah, that's that whole scene. So then, because it continues to his wife,
yeah,
like the girls' night out. You know, they're in
Yeah.
the car, and she
Yeah.
even finds him, and yeah,
uh-huh.
and then that whole interaction when he gets in the car too. It's just yeah, it's good.
yeah. Well, Mitchellpalooza was pretty wild, crazy
Oh,
scene
yeah.
too, and like Snoop Dogg showed
Mhm.
it also was kind of cool. I guess what was it called? It was kind of like a Sound City or Speaker City.
Speaker City.
Speaker City. That's what
Yeah.
it was. I guess supposed to be like Circuit City, but
Oh yeah,
like a rip off of Circuit City. But
his commercial.
his commercial,
Yeah.
I was gonna say his commercial. He's showing up, and it was like
Yeah. How many you say he owned?
like 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5, yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Speaker City.
Yeah. I mean, the other best thing, which he does a couple of times, but for some reason I thought he did it like a lot more throughout the whole movie, but is the earmuffs thing. I've always loved that when he does that. And he just gets so mad when he's like,
when someone else is
all
like,
you have to do.
all you have to do.
Earmuffs. Yeah.
Earmuffs. So one of the other standout scenes I like was the Will Ferrell with the tranquilizer gun,
Yeah.
which is Sean William
That's
Scott's.
what- yeah.
Like, and him is like I guess redneck or whatever he's supposed to be, hillbilly kind of type. It's kind of funny too.
Yeah. His how he's holding it and it's so out of nowhere when it shoots into him, and it's that whole scene's done really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think how it goes, like the beginning of it, because he's watching all the animals. That's what it is. Okay, I was wondering, like, why is Sean William Scott there? And then that's right, he's part of that. And then once he does get shot with it, his response is so great too, where he's like, "Yes, that's awesome." Like he's just so like in awe of this dude doing that.
yeah. It was it's good.
Man, because I forgot that's actually from this party too. This
Birthday. It's a little. It's a little kid's birthday.
little kid's birthday party. Is dude the guy that the Grey's Anatomy girl brings,
Yeah.
and then he finds him in the bathroom. Like, man, this guy is I don't remember him being that bad. I was like, this guy sucks.
Like, and it's like a combination of like also that guy's like the acting kind of was bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
But
good.
then also like it kind of played into his douchiness anyway, and which made him even more like you just didn't like him because.
Yeah.
But like you're like who? I mean I know it's a movie, but you're like, where would like just what was she, the waitress or like kind of like a caterer?
Yeah, caterer. Yeah,
Like why would she even?
I don't
like,
know.
In what world would she, like some caterer lady, just go into the bathroom with
this
some
guy, I
random
know.
guy like that? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's so unprofessional. I've never been to a party with a caterer like that.
No, that's fancy. Yeah.
Fancy having a caterer. The birthday parties, little kids' birthday parties.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, he does.
No, but that kind of caterer, I know. Yeah, I never been to that kind. Kind of party. Yeah,
that kind of party. Yeah, and it's like I don't know. And it's just like,
I mean, it's a very plot specific thing, right? That they had to throw in, but it is just.
Then he's
weird.
Tries to be the nice guy and not say anything, and then.
Yeah.
Oh man. I also think it's funny that Mitch's character is a lawyer, which normally lawyers are played as like the douchey person, right? Like, and he's like super Mr. Nice Guy, chill, and he's the lawyer.
Oh, someone else that I guess I didn't even see in the credits, but I recognize is his boss.
I think I remember being like, oh yeah.
I forget the actor's name. I mean, but he's Locke from Lost. He's been in a ton of stuff.
Right. Yes.
Terry Quinn. Is it Terry Quinn? I want to say is the actor's name. He's been in a lot of things besides that, but yeah, I was like, oh, and I didn't see him even in because I always look through all the credits. But yeah, so that was just random seeing him. But he's always great.
Right. I was like, oh, it's Locke from Lost.
Yep, that's what I always say. Yeah, it's Locke.
Who's also the father of Alicia.
Yeah,
Alicia
that's
Kutzer.
crazy. Yeah. Yep.
So another standout. Blue's birthday.
We're gonna talk about Blue.
Yeah.
I know he's great.
Yeah, so that's all great, but like the birthday party, there's like the fact of throwing him a birthday party, that scene's great. But then the fact that he, I guess has a heart attack or whatever reason, he kills over at the birthday party.
Yeah.
And then they have a funeral.
Yeah.
And then of course we have the classic, "You're my boy,
Blue." Yeah. That's the line. Yeah.
That's the classic line.
Oh yeah.
But but just as great character.
It is
in general.
Because I think we say something about like how did he die, and then I don't remember who says it, but it's like, well, he was like in his 90s. It's like I think it was just natural causes. Yeah. So no relation to Brandon.
No.
With Blue. No. That's not how he got the name Blue.
No, that was he used to dye his hair blue when he was
okay.
Like he was a teen, and
I wanted to ask you if he was just a huge old school fan.
No. He was when he was a teen, he was dyed his hair blue, and then and he was like doing DJ and stuff then. So
gotcha.
He kind of got the nickname Blue.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another one I have is just when they're driving around in the van, chasing down all the guys
the pledge,
for the pledge. Yeah, just throwing
that's
them.
great.
Yeah,
the kidnapping.
That was a good
I had
scene.
that down. The pledging and kidnapping.
Yeah.
And they're just like running things over. But I love when they take the guy and his like wife's right there, and she's like freaking out. He's like, "Don't worry, we'll have him. We'll bring him back."
We'll bring him back. Yeah, yeah. But they're so violent about it, and like, and
Over
wearing
the top.
Yeah.
We
That was. You're right though. It is like crazy. However they shot that, because it's just like the amount of just stuff that they run into and how they're driving the car is like very exaggerated. It was
So we did that to Jeff Nepper.
Oh really?
Yes. The similar situation with maybe who else helped with that. But then we filmed like a ransom thing to it was all like staged stuff. Then there was like a ransom thing that we sent to Jess. And then that's what she
I vaguely.
And then when she showed up for the ransoms when he proposed.
Okay, I vaguely remember this happening.
Yeah, I mean, you might even helped with it. And
I don't remember helping, but I do remember it. I don't know.
Yeah, because
But-
basically it was like how this whole elaborate scheme to get her to show up at the the lookout tower in Antietam Battlefield.
Yeah.
Like up there, so he could propose to her up there.
Nice.
But we even had to, because there's like, I guess, some security cameras, and so we were filming some stuff there, like of like him getting like thrown in a van or whatever. I don't even remember if we had a van, and like one of the park like rangers whatever came by and was like, "What's going?" And then we were like, "Oh, we're just filming." They were like, "Okay," but they were like concerned for a minute because
yeah, of course,
because of like terrorists trying to kidnap somebody. So the whole dance routine for all the stuff they had to do, but the dance routine in the gymnasium, that was and then again, Will Ferrell's character getting into the costume, the mascot costume. Of course, obviously it wasn't him because he does like multiple somersaults.
Oh yeah.
But all the sequences of like all the stuff they had to do, and of course they're using the tech to cheat on the test, his high tech stuff from Speaker City, and that was funny. And then on the end, it didn't matter.
No. At the end, it just came down and just to blackmailing him, just recording what he said to. What was it? Was it the exchange student or something?
No, it was the lady that was the head of the student council or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And she's the one that can approve she gave him temporary status.
Oh, right.
And then they wanted her to revoke it. And, for their fraternity. Yeah, and then of course them chasing him down. Chasing was.
I like at this movie, the ending. I like because it's not, especially with Mitch and who's the Grey's Anatomy girl's name? I don't know her name in this.
In the movie?
Yeah.
Nicole.
Okay. Nicole, at the end, I like how they don't go into that like a time where it's like, oh, now we can be together and all that. Like they have a conversation like, hey, I'll show you around, because he's moving also at the end.
Yeah.
So I thought that was done well. It wasn't like too much. Because I feel like a lot of movies, even if it's just a comedy, not a romantic movie at all or rom-com, normally they would have more of that.
Yeah.
Or a lot of them do.
Or I could have seen like 1 year later type of thing, and then just like a couple scenes.
Yeah.
Though they did have like the scenes during the credits, right? That
was my last note. I did like all the scenes over the credits.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Which does give a little bit of like, like a little preview insight into a few things that a little differently than you would have.
And then Blue playing in heaven.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, that's one thing I do miss is, I want to say one movie recently did do it, but that whole era where they just put scenes over the credits, or at least like bloopers. I
think wasn't it Hitman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hitman did do that, which I'm like, man.
You're right.
We were talking about how I feel like that's kind of a classic movie anyway. The way the approach of that movie.
It felt like a movie from this era almost, but with a little bit of modern sensibility mixed in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be. Yeah, it could be actual scenes or bloopers, just something. I always like that.
Yeah. I mean, they kept you watching the credits. You don't have to have like
exactly. You have to wait to the end and get
the Avengers or like a Marvel, stinger at the end or whatever you call it.
Yep.
Just have some bloopers in there.
Yeah.
Or outtakes of some kind, or little scenes of other things that didn't make it in the film, but you can still share them, and because you're like, hey, it was kind of funny, even though we had to cut it for time.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Even if you don't want to do bloopers, if you just deleted scenes or like stuff that you had to cut for time, throw in a little bit at the end.
The other note I had was the blowjob lessons.
Oh, that's where Andy Dick is. Yeah. Yeah.
That was that was pretty funny.
It was. He's just doing like the most ridiculous character, just like in the last movie,
Right.
again.
Yep.
And then in one scene again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. What else is great when he comes in to like attack? Well, Will Ferrell's character comes in to attack him, and he's like martial arts like master, and he takes him out.
I'm trying to remember the word he used, but it was so great. Where, when he came in, he was like, I don't know. He's like, that was a big mistake, or whatever he said to him. It was just his delivery of that line, whatever it was, right before he was really good.
Yeah, he was like something like, it was a big mistake, like,
yeah,
the wrong choice.
It's all because they do the, which is another thing from this time for sure. Humor wise, is the classic. He's looking in the window, and it's just the perspective. Yeah,
showing one thing versus what reality.
That was a very of this time. I want to say a lot of movies did that.
Yeah.
There was a line. I didn't have a note about it because I'm not going to say it because it's not something I should say. But at the very beginning of the movie was one of the funniest lines of the whole movie. It's like at the very beginning.
Very beginning.
It's what the taxi driver says to him when he gets in the back. Dude, I was dying laughing. It's just the way he said it.
Yeah, he's like,
he was like,
seatbelt.
What do you recommend I do? And his response, I was like, man, because I completely forgot that part, and I was dying. It was just the way he said it too. Yeah. Yep.
And then he just floors it and he hits his face.
Yep.
So the idea of a fraternity, so like this idea, it's funny, like to me I was thinking like it's not that different than like Fight Club, right? Like,
for sure.
It's like guys just want to be part of something, right?
Yeah, they were talking about
like
that
a tribe, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of talk about that there, and it's like, it's just such a good idea to like the concept.
It is.
And then the two co-workers like dying to get in, and then until he needed help with like something like, which is also funny when he stood up to the boss there in that one scene.
Oh yeah,
because like he started to accept the Godfather.
The Godfather, yeah.
Because
it's also like, and they don't do it. It's not to that extreme, but yeah, you're right. It's the same idea. They're not quite. I guess they kind of still are pretty like secretive about it. You know, it's not so much like, oh, you just can't ever talk about it. But yeah, it is still there's a whole process to it, like you said. Yeah, it is a good idea.
Yeah. The other thing that was funny is one of the pledges was one of the other guys from Big Bang Theory. So we had a character from Big Bang in the first movie.
Yeah,
or actor, not character, but actor. And then this one had the other.
This was the guy that was in A Serious Man, right? I want to say. Is he like, he's like the young rabbi?
Yes.
Okay.
You're correct.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Okay. That's him. The same guy, same actor. Yeah.
That's all my notes.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much all my notes as well. I feel like, the only thing I was going to say about like plot, again, I think you said kind of ending, but also just I feel like the third act is definitely a lot stronger in this film.
Yes.
Than versus the last one. Like the last one, the third act's kind of where it falls apart.
Yeah.
And this one having basically them having to do all those tests to like, that's kind of the start of the third act, and like try to, kind of the plot of the blackmail, of him to try to get them out, and then them having to take all the tests and then, rally and do it. And then the little loophole that he throws in there with their Blue being dead and it bringing the score down. But then of course the lady helps them blackmail him. And but like that whole third act is much stronger from a story than the previous film where they just kind of got there with the tape and they were
Yeah, for sure. And I think we'll see as we go, because we already see from this first movie to this one, the evolution of, because we have a lot more comedies to do. I think we'll kind of see the kind of maturing of the comedy, or just smarter, as it goes. Because
as
it
a
already
director,
is.
There's a
Especially if he's also, or at least co-writing a lot of these
so
like he
far,
did.
yeah. Once again, cinematography wise, there really wasn't anything interesting.
It wasn't anything, crazy or fancy.
It's just pretty straightforward filmmaking. About music, score, anything.
So I don't have anything for this movie specifically, but this guy though, I'm a huge fan of him now. Because did you see what else he's done?
I have not looked. I did not look.
Well, he's done a lot of comedies, but then he's the guy that wrote all the music for Severance, which is incredible.
Wow.
The music in Severance, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Theodore Shapiro, yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, that score is amazing.
Yeah. There's so much in that. I mean, that's one of my favorites of,
the trailer.
You saw it today?
It came out today.
Yeah. Got the release date. We got
not
our
till January 2025.
No, but we got our January show.
I know.
There we go. January 17th.
Which means we also have what we're going to cover in like November, December.
You do a rewatch?
Yeah, we got to do a rewatch.
Oh yeah,
we gotta do a rewatch.
I've been wanting to do that. Yeah,
we got to do a rewatch.
Yeah,
that's the other pod.
Yes.
The other side of this podcast, the TV episodes. Yeah, that's amazing. No, that score is
one of my favorites.
All right, so overall theme and message. Is there a takeaway from this film that's deeper than just a few laughs?
I didn't have anything, but I think you're kind of right. There is something, it doesn't have to be exactly this, but something that, guys can go to. I think that is something that a lot of guys want, somewhere to go outside of home to be with just guys being dudes,
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything specific, deeper meaning.
I mean, I think they definitely they definitely play with the mature guys growing up, maturing versus not, right?
True.
And always wanting to hold on to the good old days, so to speak, or whatever, like, and not wanting to, become adults. And they really are. Mitch, the main character, is the only one that doesn't really want to be in that. Like, it's like his two buddies, the one that's married and one that's just got married, and then they're kind of like trying to cling to their old lives of like when they were, I guess, able to be much more immature in their life, right? And then Mitch is like the only one that's really actually want that. Though we do see Vince Vaughn's character, I forget what his name is in the movie, but you see him kind of not like he's trying to, but then when it actually came time to it, like he was like, no, I'm I'm married, I don't want to. So, but yeah, I think that's also a common thing that you see a lot, men that don't want to really be men. Instead, they still want to be boys.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this speaks to as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing.
All right, well, let's do a little trivia. Just let me bring it up. Sorry. I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Like, too many icons that look the same. So, yeah, Swingers was 96. I don't know why I had that's up here, but let's go down 3. Yeah.
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 There you go.
for trivia. Oh, right. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, I was just trying to get you there quicker.
Thank you. All right. Okay, first one up. Top. Frank's streaking scene was shot on a city street. As Will Ferrell remembered it, one of the storefronts was a 24-hour gym with Stairmasters and treadmills in the window. I was rehearsing in a robe, and all of these people are in the gym watching me. I asked one of the production assistants, shouldn't we tell them I'm going to be naked? Sure enough, I dropped my robe, and there were shrieks of pure horror. After the first take, nobody was at the window anymore. I took that as a sign of an approval.
So they didn't even have its whole street section like blocked off, or
I guess not.
and they didn't even warn everyone.
They shot it at night, probably when
Yeah.
there's not many people around, but the 24-hour gym.
Right. That's great.
The Foul Mouth Band. Oh, I forgot about the band
Oh, yeah.
at the wedding.
Dude.
Is a real
That is a great
rock band called the Dan Band. They also appear in Starsky and Hutch and The Hangover.
I do remember them in another movie. Okay. Yeah.
Some of Luke Wilson's scenes, like when he arrives home, were done in one take. The crew nicknamed him One Take Wilson.
What about his brother?
I don't know.
Is he not One Take Wilson? Man.
Vince Vaughn had to keep the crowd at the Mitchapalooza scene, over 300 extras, under control by entertaining them for at least an hour.
Why?
I don't know. I guess like there was other reasons they needed to.
I mean, he's got that personality. He can do that. Because it's like what he plays in these movies, I imagine that's
Probably how he is.
Yeah.
Because he really does, from an acting standpoint, play the same role all the time.
Yeah.
So-
He's very charismatic, and yeah, he'd be the right person to do it.
Snoop Dogg agreed to cameo in this film so he could play Huggy Bear in Starsky and Hutch.
Nice. Okay.
Todd Phillips admitted essentially bribing him started to play Huggy Bear to his advantage.
I'm looking forward to that movie because I know I've seen it, but I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, same.
So
I think I watched it like once.
Yeah, that's one that I'm not as familiar with because I don't remember Snoop Dogg in that one.
So the man who played Marissa's father and gave her away at the wedding
Okay.
is Will Ferrell's accountant.
So random.
I know, but like
How did he?
how's that happen?
I know. How does he ask him like, "Hey, do you have anyone?" My accountant.
Crap, we forgot to cast.
Yeah,
We forgot to cast
you
her
can get
dad.
my accounnt. I don't.
Oh, I know a guy.
Yeah, that's.
He's actually here on set, just in my
Yeah, maybe he's in the middle of doing
his
something.
books.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, can you just do this scene real quick?"
All right, so the idea for the film came when writer-director Todd Phillips was talking to a friend who had seen and enjoyed Phillips' movie Frat House, and told him, what would be funny is a movie about older guys who start a fraternity of their own. After being told by Phillips to write it, he presented Phillips with a loose version of the finished product.
Hmm. Wait, so he did a movie called Frat House?
I guess. I don't know. How did we miss that one?
I don't know because I went through them.
It's a documentary.
Oh, that's why. I always skip shorts or documentaries when I go through. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I would have messed us all up if there was one beforehand.
There was plans to produce a sequel with the main characters on college spring break. Upon reading the script, Will Ferrell, when promoting Semi-Pro, said that he and Vince Vaughn had the same reaction when the story just felt like it was repeating itself.
Mm. Yeah. Probably a good call. It would have just been trying to be the first one and then just not as good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The wedding scene where Mitch makes a speech was added during filming. It was not in the script. And Vince Vaughn had the idea.
Nice.
Terry O'Quinn agreed to play Goldberg unaccredited.
There it is. Yeah. Oh, that's why.
And
Okay.
what was a 2-day job for him. He neglected to inform his sons he was in the movie, and when they saw it, one of them called their father. I got a call from my son, he says, and they said, "What were you doing in Old School? We didn't even know you were in that."
Nice.
We're sitting there, and the first time we see you, it's like in a reflection in a window. And when we saw it, we were both thought we were like tripping or something.
Yeah. It's so weird
So,
because I was thinking of someone else in this that, I mean, we mentioned in the cast, but she's only in like the beginning, is Juliette Lewis.
mhm. She's at the end, and
Oh, that's right. She is at the end. Right.
because it's like her and Will Ferrell's character will get together.
That's
too.
right. Oh yeah, in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just because she's been like since a kid, like she's been acting forever.
Yeah.
So and she was in some very big movies even in the 90s, I want to
Yeah.
say. So that's kind of cool they got her. So she was already probably one of the biggest actors in this movie. And
Mm-hmm.
it's cool they got her for basically just
Yeah.
that little bit. So
It's funny that she doesn't look that. She looks almost the same now. I mean, because in like what's the TV show?
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow
was the most
Jackets. Yeah,
recent thing.
yeah. She doesn't
I know.
look, other than her hair's not blonde, but like,
Right.
she looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, she always kind of has looked the same. Yeah.
Mhm. This is just an interesting point. The church that they got married in was the Westminster Presbyterian Church in Pasadena, California, which is also the same church for Wedding Crashers,
Oh, nice.
which is also, as we were talking about earlier, Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn, but with Owen Wilson. So.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I wonder, is that Adam McKay? Because I know I have him on our list of directors, or is that someone else?
Not sure.
I'm not
sure.
Okay.
Vince Vaughn signed his contract for the movie during the scene with the wedding. It was the first day of shooting, and he had to sign the contract before he could start. So he had.
Why do you wait to?
Okay, the next one is, according to Vince Vaughn, the studio didn't want him for the film. They said they were unsure that he could do comedy, this being before he was known as a comedic actor. So
Really? So this was his first. See, I thought, for some reason, I thought Anchorman was before this. I guess not. That's surprising. I thought he would have done something else before this.
I don't know. All right. I think it's about it for that.
Oh, I didn't look to see. What is our...
Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, that is next. Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. Any last thoughts about this film?
No? Another...
It's a good one.
Yeah, again, that's the same thing as like last week. If you've never seen this movie, how is it, watching it in 2024? Because there's definitely nostalgia for this movie as well for me. So
You're right. Yeah, and
just like last week.
yeah, but I think it holds up. And what I didn't mention, Robin had never seen this film. She watched it with me, and she liked it and laughed a lot.
There we go. All right, so we know our answer. Okay.
Now, how's it play to like 20-something? Seeing it for the first time might be a little different.
Yeah, but just someone that's never seen it, watching it now, that's a good test for that. And all right, cool.
Yeah.
So she thought it was funny, and she thought it held up.
Oh yeah. She laughed a lot.
Nice.
Actually. Yep. So, have you seen it? What do you think? If you didn't see it before and you watched it, like Jerry was saying, did you think it's held up, or did you enjoy it for the first time? If you have any thoughts or feedback and like to send us anything to read on the podcast the next time, you can email us at feedback@screentimepod.com, or you can DM us or leave a comment on the YouTube video. And if you'd like to follow either of us on Instagram, I'm at JYoungbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right, and we'll catch you guys next time.